oh no, the Pac-12's dead. Like they were alive and then they died again. And you know how? This is the craziest part. Is the Mountain West is suing the Pac-12 for $150 million. And the Pac-12 looking around going, oh, shit, I don't know. We have all that laying around here. What is legendary about this entire deal is the Mountain West looks at Washington State, Oregon State, effectively what was the Pac-12. And by the way, I want to make it very clear, I support both those schools. I think they'd be very valuable additions to the ACC when that conference reformats, to the Big 12 when we reformat here in a few years. I appreciate both of them. I think Kirk Schultz is the mastermind that kept the Pac-12 alive and a mastermind the Big 12 needs, somebody that could be advantageous for any conference. I support both those schools. Here is the dour side of what I'm about to give you, is that when both those schools signed with the Mountain West to do this weird like quasi-scheduling thing, the Mountain West is like, hey, big dogs, come on over here. We'll let you play our schools. It'll be cool. It'll be tight. We'll enjoy this thing together. Both of those schools, the Washington States and Oregon States of the world and the brand new Pac-12 were like, wait, what if we just stole the Mountain West schools and rebuilt the Pac-12 with them? And the Mountain West goes, hey, we tried to save you. Our whole deal with signing this contract for you to play us was so you could stay alive and then maybe join our conference eventually. And you've used it to, here comes the word, 3, 2, to tamper. Yeah, we love that one in the Big 12. You've used this to tamper with how the conference operates and steal our members. We threw you a lifeline. You grabbed the lifeline, climbed onto the ship, shot our captain in the head. Like we just threw you the lifeline. What did you kill our captain for? Like, my bad. It's going to help keep me alive. I'm the captain now. And in retaliation, these two go to effectively mediation. They're going to try to settle out of court, figure it out. You know, here's the price tag the Mountain West wants as this reparation for the Pac-12 stealing Mountain West schools. The Pac-12 says, no, they can't come to an agreement. And now we are going to court. We're going to trial between the Mountain West and the Pac-12 as these two conferences try to fight. And so the Pac-12 is arguing that this is just better for student athletes. Like, oh, we have the best interests of student athletes in hand. And also the Mountain West just signed a contract with CBS. They're doing fine. I'm going to ask you a question. Take your rooting interest out of this. You are the judge of the world. I'm allowing you to be the judge of the world. And the case is between the Pac-12 and the Mountain West. And what the Mountain West is saying is, hey, we gave the Pac-12 an opportunity to stay alive by their surviving members coming and playing an adjusted schedule. We were very gracious, playing an adjusted schedule to participate in the Mountain West. In response to that, in response to our hospitality, they decided to steal our member institutions, effectively trying to kill our conference for them to stay alive. If you're the judge of the world, and then the Pac-12's like, hey, counterpoint. All we did was sign a contract to stay alive and play their schools and then poach their universities so we could stay alive even further. This is an admittance of guilt on one side, and the other side going, yeah, we got robbed. If we're being objective about this, if you're the judge, you're staring this case down going, well, that's the easiest decision I've ever made. This is murder. And the one side is admitting to the murder, the Pac-12, just saying, like, well, it was with the best interests of our student athletes in hand. The Pac-12 collapses. Most of its members leave, Big 10, Big 12, ACC. Pac-2 remains. And then with that, it was the full football schedule in 2024, Oregon State, Washington State with the Mountain West. And then from there, that was it. That was it. They said, this is our opportunity to create a new Pac-12. Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Utah State, all of the states. And the Mountain West said, you owe us poaching penalties. And that started the Mountain West Conference claimed it's owed approximately $55 million in poaching penalties from the Pac-12 due to 5 schools joining. They also claimed substantial exit fees from the individual schools, bringing the total to over $150 million. So again, you're the judge here. And you're like, yeah, there probably should be a fine for stealing the other conference's schools. And by the way, there should certainly be a payment you have to make when you leave the conference, when you break the contract you signed with the conference. So the Pac-12, how do they respond to this? This is crazy. Filed a lawsuit against the Mountain West, seeking to invalidate or overrule the poaching penalties. Again, saying like they're unlawful. They're an attempt to obstruct the ability for student athletes to have their best interests put into practice here. And they're confident. They think, oh, we're going to stand our ground. And Mountain West is like, oh, cool. Well, like, we're suing you. And then even wilder in this whole deal, which there's so many intricate pieces, Boise State, Colorado State, and Utah State filed their own lawsuits against the Mountain West Conference, alleging they're challenging the legality and amount of their exit fees from the Mountain West, which are around $19 million per school. At the root of this, after the failed mediation, deadline of July 15, they couldn't figure anything out. After it failed, no settlement was reached. They're going to go to court. Both conferences said they are back on the litigation track. We're going to sue you in court September 9th, 2025 is this requested date. We're going to learn even more. Mountain West Conference Commissioner Gloria Navarez says she's really confident in their legal position, will aggressively protect the interests of their member institutions, and obviously the outcome is critical for Mountain West's financial stability. It just feels a little objective. Can we all agree it's a little objective that the poor Mountain West is like, dude, you can't do that. I scratched your back. You shot me in mine. If I'm the judge, I am going to grant the Mountain West Conference their $150 million. And the Mountain West Conference is going to thrive off that. They also just, like I said, signed a deal with CBS, so they're doing well. And then if you're the Pac-12, you start looking around going, oh, shoot. Especially in this revenue sharing era where we're all giving our student athletes like $20 million. Any of y'all got that dough? What do we got in escrow back there? What do we got in the bank? Shout out Arizona Athletics. What do we have in petty cash in the drawers? This is devastating for the Pac-12. And I'm rooting for Washington State and Oregon State. And there's really no two ways around the whole tampering thing or poaching thing. So I understand that this is just a tough spot to be in for them in general. But if you're just a normal human being, just a person, and you look at this, you go, yeah, tough to get around that one. You kind of did the dirty. You broke the honor code with this one as the Mountain West, or as the Pac-12 toward the Mountain West. So I'm rooting for you, Gloria Navarez, Mountain West Conference. I learned a lot about this. I read a lot about this. They provided a lifeline to the Pac-12. Pac-12 said, hey, thanks. We're going to steal all your people. You can't do that. Can't do that. And so my hat goes off to the Mountain West Conference. Best of luck in all of this. If I was the judge, if most of the listeners were the judge, I'm sure they'd be like, you know what? Cool. Fine. Mountain West, you win in court. Overall, Provo was great. Loved it. Loved Utah County. Loved Utah Lake even. Crazy. I know. West Virginia to the ACC is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And the Pac-12 might just die because they can't pay $150 million in court. Oops, the dead Pac-12 becomes the new Pac-12, becomes the bankrupt Pac-12. This has been, it always will be. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. We'll see you cats on Monday. Locked on. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.